Welcome back to Gaming Night. I'm your host, G.A.M.E.R here, and welcome back to Play Your Way episodes. Wow, I need to get on top of this because I'm just awful at this. I'm gonna say episode 8, 7.
That sounds right.
I think it's 8. I'm gonna say 8. And if it's not, well, I'll see you next week on episode 8. But anyway, anyway, welcome back. Video game podcast covering gaming news, reviews, games, whatever is in the gaming world. We're gonna talk about it. And ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 games that we're gonna be giving you our thoughts and impressions on. Well, for Christian, it's only gonna be 2 of them. But we do have a lot of games to talk about, and then we have a couple of new game announcements that we're gonna be talking about, as well as just some extra news, getting caught up with all the things throughout the week. As always, if you enjoy these podcasts, consider subscribing, liking, sharing with your friends. And we love video games because we want to share that. Wait, no, we don't love video games because we love video games and we want to share that with the world, regardless of platforms and or genres you enjoy. We play games because we enjoy them, and we want to celebrate that by talking about them. So let's get to it. Christian,
What's bopping?
what have you been playing this week?
All right. So this past week, since we last talked, which does not feel like a week, honestly.
It really does not.
I feel like I just sat down and
Yep.
recorded an episode.
I agree.
But yes, Cam, that's your ball. Sorry. He was like coming up and just showing it to me. So I guess what games have I played? Because I've played a fair amount of games this past week. Obviously, I played two games, little indie games, I know. But played a little bit of Liza P as well. Liza P.
Another indie
played
game.
a bit of Elden Ring. Yeah, but played some Elden Ring as well. I had the itch to play Bloodborne earlier, but
a lot of souls
refrained
going
because
on here.
I don't know why, dude. I mean, obviously I know why. They're kind of like one of my favorite game genres now.
If you want a fantastic Souls game to play, on May something, I don't remember the date. On May something, another Crab's Treasure is coming to Game Pass.
Dog, I follow them on TikTok.
No way.
I
Do you really?
was there in the trenches. Yeah, no,
the
I was there before they were big. Like, obviously.
No, I know, me too, bro. I saw the game like years ago, and like it just got a release date today.
Yeah, I don't follow a lot of of a lot of developers on TikTok, but I saw that and I was like, dog, the fact that you can use your shell as your armor and
Dude,
stuff.
it looks fire. I ain't gonna lie.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But no,
I was there in the trenches. That's funny.
I was there in the trenches. Yeah, no, I mean, it looks like a fun and cute game. It looks like it's gonna make me so mad, but
Oh yeah.
but yeah, no, played Liza P, wanted to play Bloodborne, play some Elden Ring, and then I played my fair amount of Dragon's Dogma and Dragon's Dogma 2 and Rise of Ronin.
Awesome. No Baldur's Gate 3
Yeah.
this week.
No Baldur's Gate 3.
Wow, put it in the history book, guys. The streak is ended. The streak is over.
I decided that my priority should be on at least this week playing these 2 games, whereas I would usually play Baldur's Gate 3. So,
I see.
But yeah, what games have you played recently?
I continued playing a little bit of Final Fantasy VII. Didn't get too far into that, but I'm still playing through it. Still enjoying it for what it is.
Okay.
I am a part of the rest of the world and playing Dragon's Dogma 2 the most this week. I think I am probably halfway through the main story, which is, I think, good. I don't know. I mean, I know a bunch of people have beat it, but like, yeah, I'm halfway, which is better than most other games that I start. I'm not very quick at finishing games anymore. I have played a decent amount of Rise of Ronin. And I just started playing Princess Peach today. Yeah, and then I think that's really it. So really, just all the new stuff. I've just been playing all the new stuff. Yeah. However, I think next week I'm gonna be talking about couple more games that I'm gonna start playing because I do want to start playing. Um, what am I trying to say? Mario versus Donkey Kong.
I don't know.
I do want to start
But yeah.
that. Finally get that gone. See now that's a game I really don't care if I finish, so I may just play to my liking until I'm like done playing low key. And then I low key want to hop back into Pokemon Unite again eventually. Because I don't know,
we were talking about
I've
that.
had a little itch to play some live service game, and then after today, I'm like, you know what, I kind of want to play a live service game right now. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, well,
But
that's cool.
speaking of those games, let's get talking about those games. Real quick, a little bit of housekeeping before we jump into the thick of it. I think what's going to happen, because as you guys probably know if you follow the channel, there's not been a whole lot of uploads. Honestly, really nothing except these podcasts. We had a Suicide Squad review, and there will be content. I'm going to try and, step it up a little bit. It's just really hard. I just have too much going on. I'm trying, people. I'm trying. And I'm lazy also. So, yeah.
So your mom would attest to.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. And I've basically come to the decision that to help with channel output content, we are going to incorporate some of that stuff into the podcast. So, for instance, we're going to talk about the 3 games that came out last week. And have you played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
I played a little bit of it. I've been playing through Remake more because I talked about it last time, but I wanted to
catch up.
I wanted to catch up. Pretty much just
refresh. That's the word.
When I played it back on the PS4, I want to that was obviously a while ago. I want to kind of get all that stuff fresh in my memory before
2020, wasn't it?
Before I sing what?
It was 2020.
Yeah. It was that was
dang.
Yeah, and I did have my broke as heck PS4, but that's I haven't finished Remake yet. I'm I think about halfway through.
Oh wow. Dang. Oh my gosh. Bro's cooking.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that one, but yeah, that's another one cuz I really want to play Rebirth because I've seen a bunch of stuff about Rebirth and I really want to play it.
Yeah, I've heard anytime I go on Twitter and see stuff about FF7 Rebirth, I go in the comments and it's just everybody saying game of the generation so far. That's insane. That's ridiculous.
Sorry. That's reserved for Princess Peach. I'm so sorry for those guys, but they don't know what they're talking about. They have no idea.
I agree, low key. Well, it just blows my mind because I would expect that crown to be either Baldur's Gate or Elden Rings right now.
I personally think it should be Baldur's Gate, but I also completely understand that Baldur's Gate is for a specific set of people. So,
see, in my opinion, I think it's Elden Ring. Right now, I think game of the generation is Elden Ring.
Yeah, I can see that. That tracks.
That's my personal. Is it my favorite game of the generation? Absolutely not.
No.
But I think when look at the grand scheme of things and just what game I think had the biggest impact on gaming this generation, I think it's for sure Elden Ring. I would say Baldur's Gate's for sure top 5 for me.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing.
I
think Ragnarok.
Looking at it,
right? Objectively, right. See, I would put Ragnarok there, but the problem is it's a sequel, and I just don't know if. I mean, it's a great game. I mean, let's not get it twisted. It's in my top 5, I think, of all time. But I don't know. I just don't know if I would consider game of the generation. I don't know. Not like how 2018 was. 2018 was for sure a game of the PS4 generation. That was.
Yeah, I mean, you had God of War, Spider-Man, and Red Dead 2 all within the same time period. That's insane. But anyways,
yeah. But let's get talking. So housekeeping. Basically, we're gonna incorporate some of those segments into the podcast. So, for instance, this week we're gonna do my thoughts and impressions on all 3 of the games that came out last week, and I'm gonna upload those as thoughts and impression video, sort of as like a review, but it's just gonna be me talking without a script or anything. Not that I really use scripts anyway, but it's just gonna be like during podcast talk, and that'll kind of be the video. I'll chop it up, edit it a little bit, and post that as the video, so I save myself a little bit of time from recording and talking about the same stuff again, which is, it's just kind of annoying. And then next week we're gonna start incorporating like rankings and just some little fun stuff to get it going. We might even do like tier lists or something. I really don't know. But for this week, let's get talking about the game. And if you're watching the video for the podcast, which I know my dad does, which is really odd. I would think he'd do it on Spotify, but I guess he watches the video. You're going to see the border on the video is going to change from Player Way to Gamer Unite. That's because, like I just said, I'm recording this for a video, so I don't want it to look like a podcast. I want it to feel like a video. So we're going to change it. Oh, look at that. Sexy. What is so funny?
So sorry.
What?
I have to refrain, but I will tell you after the podcast.
Okay. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Continue.
All right.
What
So
were you talking about?
I was just doing housekeeping for the channel. Don't worry about it.
No. Why would you? Why did you start? Why were you like? Oh, there's that pretty. Like, what was that about?
I changed my border. I changed my border to my YouTube border instead of the podcast border.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. So anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the first game. Well, hang on. What game do you want to talk about first?
Let's go ahead and get the one that I haven't played yet.
Okay.
Out of
so the GOAT. So let's get the GOAT out.
So the GOAT. So the greatest.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So the
All
game of the year. Like,
All right,
let's go ahead and get that.
All right, so let's get talking about Princess Peach Showtime. And again, I'm doing these videos because by the time I finish all 3 of these games, and honestly, I'll probably do this for like every game going forward. I'm not gonna try and rush through the game to get a review out. Therefore, I'll have one of these videos up the week it comes out. Basically, my thoughts and impressions from what I've played of it so far, because I probably won't get to doing a review for at least another week or 2. And so I don't want the review to be really late to where it's like just completely irrelevant. But let's get talking about Princess Peach Showtime. So going into this, I have pretty standard expectations when it comes to really like these types of games. They're not meant to be challenging. They're not meant to be like super big in scale. They're kind of just meant to be.
One thing to add from last episode, I have now been told that you made a comparison to Princess Peach Showtime and like Yoshi's like the Yarn Yoshi game.
Yep.
So it is the same developer.
Yes.
It is this. It's the same. It's the same team that worked on those games, including a WarioWare game.
Yep. The best
worked
WarioWare
on that.
Or Wario Land.
Yes.
Wario Land, shake it.
Yeah. God. Yeah, but I wanted to add that because I had been informed of that, and I was like,
you know what other game they made?
Continue though. What?
Kirby's Kirby's like wool or something like that. Yarn.
They make that tracks because it's the same like yarn aesthetic as Yoshi's.
Yeah, and if you also recall last podcast, I said Yoshi's Crafted World is one of my most underrated Switch games of all time. I think it's I love it. I love that game.
And how does this fare to Princess Peach Showtime?
Well, so I've only played it for like 2 hours. Okay. But I've gotten to experience multiple of the outfits so far. I wouldn't even say 2 hours, actually. It's probably less than that. I've experienced four different outfits out of the 10. And so, okay. Like I was saying, my expectations were very, not minimal, but like they weren't like, I wasn't expecting anything great.
Middle of the road.
I was just expecting it to be fun, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And I can conclude after playing like I was saying conclude after like an hour and a half of playing. I can confirm out of an hour and a half of playing, I was very wrong.
Is it bad?
No, it's actually really cool.
Let's go.
It's actually, I really enjoy it. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, here he goes again. It's another one of those games where he's not strict on games whatsoever. And that's true. I'm not very strict when it comes to games. Like, it's not hard to make me please. Like, I'm very easy to please when it comes to game. Yeah, shut up. It's not hard. It's easy to please me when it comes to games.
It's easy to please me. I like that. Put that on a t-shirt.
But at the same time, I will point out criticism, and I do have my criticisms when needed to be. I really enjoy it so far. Now, I do feel like it's going to get repetitive. I really do feel like it will be, because every outfit has one button to do a thing, and you pretty much just repeat that thing over and over again. Now, my favorite part about the game, number one, it's okay. I feel like this is obvious because we were just talking about the developers from Yoshi's Crafted World. They know how to just make a visually appealing game. It is so visually appealing, it's unbelievable. Like, I low-key just want to play the game to look at it. Like, it's just so cool how they do everything, how, like, the whole theme of the game is you're, like, in a theater where they do, like, these Broadway shows, kind of. Yeah, like, where they do these shows, and you're like, the main actor in it, or main actress, in this case. And just the way they do it, they have, like, the like story playing out in the background while like things are happening in the foreground, and you're kind of just bouncing between them, and then you're like going through these doors, and it's like there's this one scene in one of the early stages where you have to like find like a secret door, and you like go up to this wall, and Princess Peach like puts her back up against it, and then the whole like stage like rotates, and you can like obviously see it's like a stage, and it's like a setup, and the whole thing shifted, but everyone's acting like you went through the magic door. It's like, no, the stage just shifted. It's really funny, but it's just really visually cool, and the cutscenes are actually really good. I mean, I'm talking, honestly, this is gonna be a weird comparison. The cutscenes remind me very much of the Prince of Persia game that releases here. Very high energy, very colorful, like a lot of special effects cutscenes. Like, yeah, if there was more action in the cutscenes, I would almost say it's like anime-esque, low key, because it's like just very high energy cutscenes.
That's cool.
And it's really, really cool. But for sure, my favorite part of the game is the visuals. But my second favorite part of the game, and I think the thing that's really selling me on the game and why I'm enjoying it so much, is the level design of the game and just the way the game is structured. It's giving me heavy like Wii days. Like, for instance, for all of you who have played Mario Galaxy, you've played Mario Galaxy, so you would even know this. The levels are placed in this like HQ area, this like, you know, like hub, right, where all these different like sections are. It's not like you're beating World 1 and moving on, right? You're like in this hub, and like a new doorway opens up that opens this new level, right? It's kind of like that, or like this dark room, the lights turn on and you can like finally see where the next level is, or all these things connect to like this big pillar in the center of a floating island, and all the levels are around, and you have to like make your way to those levels. It kind of reminds me of that, where it's not just like you beat this level, click next level to play next level. No, you actually beat the level, then you exit out, and it like does this thing in the HQ, which like progresses the game. There's like shops and everything you can go to, and then you could just walk up to next level or walk up to whatever level you want. You have like options. You don't have to. It's not a linear thing where you have to do one at a time, move on to the next one, move on to the next one. You kind of like mix and match. Oh, I want to do this one. I want to do that one. I want to do this one until you finally unlock, like in this case, floor 2. You start at floor 1, and then you move up to the next floor, and then there's more levels. And it's kind of just like that. I really like that, but even outside of that, the level design in the game is really, really good. Like I just said, the gameplay itself is super simple. I feel like it's going to get kind of repetitive, but thankfully, the levels are very fast-paced and very high energy. There is never once out of the like 6 or 4, four levels that I've played, there was no moment where it was slow or they like wasted any time doing some kind of filler. It was high energy. It was set piece after set piece after set piece, like boss fight after boss fight after boss fight, enemies after enemies, platforming after platforming. Like it was just go, go, go. Like they did not want to slow down the energy whatsoever. And I feel like that really helps it, because while the sword fighting level, you use the same pretty much 5-hit combo time and time and time again, you were doing it in different places in different ways and at different times with different scenes to make it seem not like you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Like there's one time where you have to jump over an enemy and do it. There's other times where the enemies are coming at you and you're just like stuck in a running motion and you have to do it. Or there's times where you're doing a boss and you have to like jump over these like flames and do it. It's just the way they structure it makes it just very fun, even though you're not doing much whatsoever. It just makes it really fun, paired up with the awesome visuals that the game has to offer. It's just really great to look at. It leads to a really, really good experience from what I've had so far. I think the story itself is very Mario-esque. Big Bad does something to a building or area, and you have to basically get rid of it. And yeah, that's pretty much the main.
Nothing compelling like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I will say, the game is funny. The game, not like it tries to be, but they gave Princess Peach somewhat of a voice actor or a voice actress, and she has lines in this game that just crack me up. Like whenever you help like a little innocent, I forget what they call them, like these little creatures that they introduce in the game. Whenever you help one of them, and then they like do something or something happens, Peach will go, "That's Peachy." It cracks me up every time. Or whenever you start a level, you know how Mario goes, "Let's go." Peach will go, "It's showtime." And it's just like, wow, you guys really are geared towards kids. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, it's Nintendo, and you know, I'm not expecting Elden Ring here. You know what I mean? It's very, very straightforward, fun, creative, and that's the biggest pros I can give it. Is it, you know, more fun than something like God of War? No, absolutely not. Is it, you know, as challenging as something like Metroid Dread or something? No. Is it like something we've never seen before, like Hi-Fi Rush? No. But it is creative enough to separate itself from the rest of the Nintendo Switch library to where I would recommend playing it. Now, the caveat here is I'm only like an hour and a half in, and I can already tell you it's probably not worth the $60 price tag. Unfortunately, which it pains me to say that because I have really enjoyed what I've played so far. But nothing to me right now is screaming $60 price tag. Like, and that is not a great sign, but at the same time, we kind of already knew it wasn't worth the $60 price tag beforehand. Like, I think even last podcast, I think I was even debating whether I wanted to get the game or not because of the $60 price tag.
And then we looked at everything and we were like, oh.
Yeah. And then we looked at it, and then
gosh,
I
Jacob.
wanted to. But yeah, that's my pretty much thoughts and impressions on it right now. The music's really good as well. I would say it's like obviously the music's good as Nintendo and it's like Mario, but it's not Mario and it's something different. And I mean, we go in like these Japanese stages, we go in these like Wild West stages, and the music works really well there. But yeah, outside of that, so far it's just a really, really fun game. If you have the money and you're willing to dish it out on Princess Peach, then go right ahead. I don't think it's you're gonna hate your experience. And that's the thing with this game. I don't think anyone is gonna not like the game. I just don't think there are gonna be people who necessarily love it. You know what I mean? Like I'd be really shocked if somebody plays it and it's just like, this is so boring. Like this is stupid. Like I hate this game. Like I just don't see anybody doing that because it's just a very pleasant game, and that's like the best credit I can give it because that's what it is. But do you have anything to add?
Actually, I have a question because it's something that I was kind of curious about.
Yeah.
So do you are each stage is that a different outfit?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't switch at this point. You don't switch through outfits like mid game.
Level.
That one, yeah.
Yeah. No. As of right now, no, I have not.
Okay. I was just curious. I didn't know
Well,
if that was
hang
gonna
on.
be
Unless you count this, so like when you start a level, you are just Peach, like normal Peach, and then like 1/5 of the way through, you'll like unlock the power.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. And then you're that outfit for the rest of the level.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. No, I mean, definitely from what I've seen, which has been very little, because I honestly do want to pick this up at some point.
You can just borrow mine when I'm done knowing it, Loki.
Yeah.
Save
Yeah,
yourself.
because I want to try to see if I should get it for my sister or not. But
yeah. Well, you could you could Loki just take it off my hand. Like I don't know if I'll play it again afterwards.
I'll give you some money for it. No worries, man. I'll reimburse you.
Okay.
But I mean, it seems genuinely does seem like a good step out of like the basic Mario formula that a lot of us like have come to know. It seems like, hey, we're gonna branch out a little bit and try something new, and I'm very excited to see if we maybe get a Princess Peach Showtime 2 maybe or something like that, depending on how well this game does. But yeah, what would be the rating you'd give it?
Right now, I'm sitting at like a. See, this is where God, I have so much beef with like just reviews, ratings, and Metacritics because it's so hard. Because like with a game like Princess Peach Showtime, it's almost impossible for it to get like a 10 out of 10 because like then they're gonna beg the question. But you said Ragnarok was a 10 out of 10, and that game slaps all over it. And while yes, it does, the two types of games are completely different. So, going off of the type of game,
playing it.
right? I'm going with a 8 out of 10 right now.
Awesome.
That's where I'm at. I'm at like an 8 out of 10.
Well, your rating should always your rating is subjective. Like
It is.
You're not going to be like, it is like comparing a Ford Ford Fusion to like a freaking Bugatti. Like it is just like two completely separate cars made for completely separate things. But both are functioning cars, albeit the Ford Fusion is definitely not the car I'd choose. But one's like they're built for two completely different reasons. They're both cars, but two completely different reasons.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, I'm glad that you weren't gonna be like, well, it's nothing like insert game here. So I'm gonna bring it down super low. No, I definitely think it would. I think it's probably where, from what I've seen, that'll
what
sit for
I'm
me.
doing right now is like the way I look at it. I'm comparing to games somewhat similar to it. So like I'm not even comparing it to like Ragnarok. I use that comparison just because that's what the public and everything see, like Twitter.
I know, but I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm glad you didn't do that.
Oh yeah, I got you. See, I'm comparing it to like Yoshi's Crafted World. I'm comparing it to like other Nintendo games. I am comparing it to Mario because it is like, if I got a Nintendo Switch, I'm looking for the best games to get for it. So, if this is an option, where would I land with that, right? And so to me, it's just like the genre of game. It does it really well enough. But as an overall experience, I'm sitting at like an 8 out of 10. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I was gonna say something and I completely forgot what I was gonna say, which really sucks. Oh, there is one huge downside to the game right now, and this is gonna come as a shock to absolutely nobody. The Nintendo Switch sucks. Holy crap. The game chugs. The game chugs when it comes to frame rate. Like, I'll be honest, I was not expecting it to be as bad as it is. Like, it's not unplayable, but like cutscenes are for sure running at like 15 to 20 frames per second.
Oh man.
Yeah, like that. Like, well, at least some of the transformation cutscenes do. Like the opening cutscene and some other ones don't. The gameplay is at a solid, I think 30 frames per second. Maybe it goes to 60. I don't know. But then at that point, the resolution's a little bit down. So some of the stuff looks kind of fuzzy. Like, it's not bad, but it's definitely a negative that I would give the game, like, right now. But at the same time, it's not even the game's fault, unfortunately.
I'd say it's no fault of its own.
Yeah, like, how many games have had this issue now? Countless. And so it's like, yeah, at that point.
Most games on the Switch.
Exactly. But yeah, that is, like, one net negative I will give it. Like if you would have showed me Yoshi's and Princess Peach, I would have told you Yoshi probably came out this year and Princess Peach came out whenever Yoshi did. Like, because I think the Yoshi game runs great. But
I just want them to start porting stuff over to different maybe PC or something. Because I would enjoy, or hypothetically somebody should port it over. Yeah. In the not legal way, but so we can see how it runs, like, well. But yeah. Well, yeah. So you said solid 8 out of 10.
Solid 8 out of 10. That's where I'm at.
Really,
that's where I'm at.
One of the big downsides is the Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, it sounds like a pretty solid game.
Yes, sir.
Game of the year, actually, I think.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Mario Wonder situation where it's like, we're gonna throw it up there.
No, unfortunately, the Metacritic sucks on this game, which is the thing I was talking about. I hate people. They're like comparing it to like games that you should not be comparing it to. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's like saying playing God of War Ragnarok and then playing Princess Peach like right afterwards and being like, I can't play this game. It is so much worse than Ragnarok. No. Why are you playing that game if that's the case? Like, you should have known this. Hey, you know what? Princess Peach's Metacritic went up. Oh, snap.
Voted.
It was at a 60 something. Now it's at a 75. It's in the green now. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yeah. Hey, yo, you know what? I can actually give this Metacritic a little bit credit. I'm looking at it. Out of 85 reviews, 50 of them are green. So that's pretty good. Majority's green.
Yeah.
32 of them are mixed in the yellow, which it makes sense, I guess. Yeah. But then there's only one red one. There's only one red review.
Wow.
That's pretty that should show you exactly what kind of game this is. Low key.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it does what it set out to do really well. Wow. Cool. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Oh, a little while back. So yeah, I've tried 4 outfits out so far. Okay. I've tried the sword fighter. I've tried the ninja. I've tried the cowgirl, and I've tried the baker. Right?
Interesting.
I'll try and guess what my ranking of the 4 outfits are right now.
Baker's number 1 for real.
Do you want me to tell if you're right or wrong? Or
Well, that was a joke, but honestly, I believe it. So you said sword fighter.
Yep.
You said sword fighter, baker, and what were the other 2?
Ninja and cowgirl.
I would probably say sword. Sword is probably number 1 or 2. Then ninja. Then cowgirl. Then baker. Like realistically.
You literally just got it completely flipped.
Oh, so baker was first?
Baker was first.
Let's go!
Dude, okay. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Level layout. Right? The baking level is full of like these mini games and full of these segments that just have very unique, creative, fun things to do. Which is completely different than the sword fighter one, which is like kind of like your classic Mario level where you're going through and there's enemies popping up and then you have a boss fight at the end. It's kind of like that. I really just enjoyed the mini games I played on the baking one. Like they were satisfying, they were engaging, and I'm like, you know what? Like out of the 4, see, I don't compare the outfits and the abilities, like which one had the most fun abilities or whatnot, because that's not what it's going for. Each level is completely different. Like, which is something I didn't even think about going into it. It's not that, oh yeah, you get a new power up like Mario and you could do this new like attack. No. The outfits are just to fit the look of the game you're playing. The ninja one is a complete stealth mission, pretty much. Like it's pretty much entirely a stealth mission. The cowgirl one is like a like grab and throw type thing with your lasso, and then you have like a horse riding segment through it. But it's completely different than the other 2. And then sword fighting is just your like classic side scrolling attack game. But then the baking one has no combat in it whatsoever. It's just full of these mini games, and it tells this short little story like these evil things stole our cookies. We need to have enough cookies for the baking fest. And so Princess Peach puts on her hat and she starts whooping up, bro. She started whooping it up real quick. And yeah, and you end up, yeah, it's, I love it. I really do. And like, so out of those 4, the one, basically, because I was watching a podcast and the guy who reviewed it for IGN said that each outfit has 3 levels. And so out of each of the levels that I've played, I want to play the baking one the most next. Like that is the one that I want to see again. For sure. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool, man. All right, let's get a move on with the next game. Which one, I guess? Which, like,
let's talk about the one I've kind of been itching to talk. Oh God, let's talk about the one I've been itching to talk about. which
Princess
is
Peach shows.
yeah. Let's go. Let's round back on that. Actually, I have several more questions. S- uh, sorry. I'm making myself laugh. Goddamn it. But
We'll get there eventually, guys.
do Dragon's Dogma 2, to be honest with you.
Alrighty.
I kind of
Dragons
really want to talk about it.
Dogma
Yeah.
2. All right. I'll let you start this time. How are you feeling?
It's a dog water game. No. I actually
Is
like it a
Dragon's
lot more
Dog
than I thought I
Water?
would. Is Dragon's Dog Water. It's way better than I expected. I will be 100%. I did not go into this game thinking it would be for me because I had looked at some videos of the first game and I was like, it's cool looking, and like that Talos fight is pretty cool too from the trailer. But like, I I went in and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. In the first hour, I didn't. The first hour, I was like, I had a very hard time getting into it
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't in the right vocation for me. I chose fighter because I was like, I'm a martial person. I like fighting stuff. And honestly, martial classes are incredibly hard to play in this game because of how big these characters are,
Yeah.
or these big the monsters are sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong, when you connect, you connect. But like,
Oh yeah.
um, I definitely do think if you're looking for a consistent gameplay, um, definitely do somebody with range because it's gonna be so much easier, like,
Yeah.
to
Range is
feel
so much easier in
engaged
the
into the
game.
combat. Um, I know sorcerer is a very favorite class right now. Um,
Oh yeah, it's
I
probably the best class like right now.
yeah, I saw somebody. I was hanging out with Austin this the other night, and he was playing some Dragon's Dogma, and he plays a sorcerer. So yeah, no, but I mean, like, the magic's cool. I do like the magic, and I'm thinking my next playthrough I'm gonna do magic. But um, yeah, I just like big swords, so I chose the warrior vocation after I found it. Um, Genuinely, as soon as I found the right vocation for me, it clicked. The game became 10 times more enjoyable because
Wait, so you're
now
playing
I didn't.
the warrior right now?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So the obviously each for anybody who hasn't played Dragon's Dogma 2 or anything, but the classes in this game are called vocations. You can only equip certain items and certain armors
Yep.
while in that, and there's honestly not a huge variety of armors and weapons from what I've gathered.
Yeah. So far.
Uh,
No.
but it's I definitely know this game hinges on you changing your vocation a lot, like
Mm-hmm.
mastering vocations, stuff that I did not realize had any element in the game because I think I talked about this last time. I didn't play Dragon's Dogma 1. I
Yeah.
never touched it. I've only ever seen a couple videos on it. But if it's anything like Dragon's Dogma 2, then I definitely think I'm gonna like it. Uh but yeah, no, I don't know at what percentage I am through the story, but I have gotten to uh I would say I've probably put about 20 hours into it now.
Dang. Okay.
Um yeah, like a couple hours each day since it came out pretty much. Um and that was on top of me playing like Rise of the Ronin and stuff. But I definitely think I would have had more if it wasn't for Rise of the Ronin. But
So did you end up going back to it?
yeah, Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it updated overnight, and I was actually able to play it.
Oh wow.
But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that whenever it comes.
Yeah.
Because I have some thoughts about that game. Um, Honestly, one of the biggest complaints I saw about Dragon's Dogma, 30 FPS. You hardly notice it.
Yeah. Oh.
It is almost I genuinely don't even notice it. Like, the cutscenes are a lot smoother than the gameplay, obviously frame
Yeah.
rate wise. But like, it doesn't affect me at all. Like, I genuinely do not feel like the 30 frames per second is a hindrance on the game. It does not feel as if, like, obviously I'd like it for it to be 60 FPS, but that is not a complaint that I've had with this game so far. I um I think that the gameplay works around that 30 FPS lock really well, and it's honestly incredibly enjoyable. What else? What else do I have to say? Um, the pawns system is pretty good too. I really like that. It's a really odd thing.
Yeah.
It's really weird. But I'm kind of annoyed by the fact that I have to keep hiring new pawns,
Yeah.
like, because they're always so low leveled
Yep.
compared to you. If you don't because like I'm at level when I'm at like level like almost 20, and like my
Oh wow.
pawns are
Okay, so you've definitely put in more
only
time than me then. I'm like low key.
yeah. And my the two of the pawns that I still are still like level 5. I mean, they do the job, but like I don't know, man. That I don't know.
Dang.
That's just not one of my favorite things. Honestly, my main pawn carries. She's a sorcerer.
Bro, facts.
She's goaded. She goaded. I'll be straight up.
Yeah.
Um, because being the warrior, obviously I can't use magic, but she can use magic on me.
Right.
So I have her like enchant my weapons and
Yeah.
stuff, which
Oh
gives
yeah,
me a
no,
boost
no,
in
dude,
damage.
sorcerer pawns are the best. Sorcerer pawns are just
Yeah,
game.
sorcerer and mage pawns, man, they're just
yeah,
they're
mage,
just something else. Um, yeah, but no, I definitely there's a lot more to this game than I think I know. I've even remotely encountered.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely enjoy it more than I thought I would. It is I think about it while at work. I think about playing it while I'm at work, which is not really something I do often. But I was just talking about it with one of my coworkers today who plays the game, and me and him were talking about it for almost an hour, like over the course of the shift. And I mean, yeah, no, it is an enjoyable, it is an enjoyable. I I want to say a bad word, but I can't. It's it is incredibly enjoyable. Um, I the story has lost me though. I will be honest. I
Yeah.
am. I need to know more about the world for me to understand what I've seen in some of these cutscenes. Uh, and so I definitely think that's like, if I could give one warning to somebody who's about to play this game, do a little bit of research on Dragon's Dogma 1, because I didn't, and the repercussions are hitting me, and I am probably gonna have to watch a lore video at some point here soon, just to understand what's going on. But
So where are you at a rating then?
oh, as at a rating, definitely, I have not finished it yet, so it
Yeah.
could get worse. I want
Where
to
is
say
what is your review in progress?
a solid 8, a solid 8. It is a solid 8, honestly teetering on a 9, because obviously I have some gripes with the game, but they're very personal gripes, and they're not something that I feel like apply to everybody.
Mm.
So yeah, no, but I think solid 8 out of 10. If I were to recommend, honestly, I think it's worth the $70 price point. This game, in
For sure.
its size,
Yeah.
is definitely worth the $70 price point.
Yeah.
I definitely don't feel like I've been scammed out a little bit of moolah. Also, just to completely shut down what anybody else is probably gonna say. Not here, but like anywhere.
Yep.
The microtransaction thing, it's
Oh
dumb.
my
Obviously,
gosh.
we all understand, but it is not. I genuinely feel like it's something that has been put in place by Capcom, not the team itself, because it's all stuff you can attain in game.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it at all. It is
Bro, I
genuinely
didn't even
something
know
you
there
can
was
ignore.
microtransactions in it until I like saw someone on Twitter talk about it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you can buy some of these things, but you find them in game fairly easily. Like, it is not. It is nowhere. It is quite literally okay.
It's
Hey, you
literally
could
just a
spend
speed
money.
up process. It's literally
Yeah.
just a speed up process. Is all it is.
It's like, hey, you could spend money here, or you could play the game. and I chose obviously option B, play the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the microtransactions, they aren't shoved in your face. You barely notice them. Honestly, I've only ever seen the problems on like Steam and PC. I played on my PS5. Have then like almost not. I think I there's always a little pop up for like a couple crystals or whatever, but like
I've yet to see
I don't
it.
even. Yeah, I've not. There's no incentive to buy it. It is not even shoved in your face like that. It is just kind of like it's here. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, solid 8 out of 10. The microtransactions aren't really a problem. Do I think it's dumb? Oh, absolutely. But I do think if you can get past that, it is a very, very good game. I think I think it's probably going to be one of the contenders for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts?
I agree with you on pretty much everything you said. I'm also at like I'm like more specifically at like an 8.5 right now. That's like that's pretty much where I'm at. Like yeah, I agree. Like I could easily see it going to 9, maybe even higher, but I could also see it going lower to 8. So I don't know. Right now I'm just kind of like at an 8.5. I agree with a lot of things you said. I disagree somewhat with the frame rate when it comes to certain times. So when you're in a city or when you're in like the market and there's a lot of NPCs around, oh my gosh, it's rough. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
really?
Yes, from what I have, I think I dropped down to like 10. Like it's a slideshow.
I don't feel it. Like, especially in the capital where obviously you're talking to minor spoilers alert. Whenever you're talking Captain Brant.
Yeah, no, that's exactly when I feel it. That's exactly. No, I never. Really.
Yeah, I don't know.
I need whatever your PS5's on, bro. Give me a pint of that.
Drop it twice and maybe it'll work better. That's all I've ever done to my PS5.
That's interesting.
But yeah, no, I barely feel it. It's the same thing with like I don't know if it's the same thing with like how I first played Cyberpunk. Is like I almost did not have any issues whatsoever. Like in my first playthrough of Cyberpunk when it came out, I did not have any issues. I don't know if I'm just getting
maybe you're just issue free when it comes to games.
Maybe yeah, maybe I don't have. Well, let me tell you, I had some issues with a certain game, but we'll get to that later. But no, I mean, yeah.
Oh
no,
wait, I did. Yeah, never mind. I think that. Never mind. Sorry, that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do disagree with the frame rate a little bit, but outside the city, yeah, I've experienced no problems. And here's the thing, it's an uncapped frame rate, like there is no lock at 30. So I feel like sometimes I am running 60, like when I'm out just in the woods or whatnot, just walking or climbing.
When it's important.
I feel like it, yeah, right. Well, I feel like it's running really really smoothly. I haven't run into any game-breaking bugs or glitches or anything. There was like one instance where a cutscene wouldn't trigger, and so I basically just went to sleep for the night, and then I went back, and then it triggered. So that's like the most like biggest bug I've seen so far.
Hey John, clear your throat.
Yeah, I know. I just did that. Thank you. That's crazy how you noticed. But I 100% agree with you. So here's the thing. I have played Dragon's Dogma 1. I think the story is so far really mid. Personally. That's like my biggest downside to the game right now. Okay, I shouldn't say it's mid. I just don't think it's not providing a better score for the game. Does that make sense? Like, it's good enough to where it's not a bad part of the game, but it's not something where I'm like, oh, this game's rating's got to go way up because of its story. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like, yeah, it's there. Like, it's just
The story complements the game pretty well.
right. Like it doesn't. It's not doing anything fantastic, but it's not doing anything bad either. It's just it's just the game story. I mean, that's all it is. But and see, this is actually one of those games where I have been doing a lot of side quests. People know I don't typically do a whole lot of side quests. Wow. I'm not typically a person who likes to do like a whole bunch of side quests in games, but this one I have been doing. When I feel like when I'm doing the main quest, right? The main quest, I feel like they're not very exciting whatsoever. Like I much prefer exploring in this game. Like which is completely different than a lot of other games I've played. Which this isn't necessarily downing on the game itself. This is downing on the story of the game because I don't think the story is structured very excitingly as of right now. I've looked this up on the internet. There's like I think like maybe like 18 main quests. I think I'm like through 9 of them, but like six out of the like six out of like those 9 have all been like tasks from Captain Brant or whatever his name is. And I feel like there's just the same thing over and over again. Infiltrate the castle, go into this house, steal a note. And you have to go do that.
Go fight these monsters.
No, there's none of that. There's only been one main quest where I've actually had to fight something.
But how'd you do the monster culling thing?
Yeah, and that's the only one. That's the only one where I fought in something.
Really?
That is the only one that I've fought in something. I'm through all his tasks now. I'm on his final. I'm on like the actual main like mission that from what all those tasks.
You're farther through the story than I am.
Yes.
But I have more hours like fighting stuff.
Yeah.
I guess.
You've probably explored a lot more.
Yeah, I go toe to toe with man.
Almost okay. So have you done that monster culling mission? Then? Okay,
that's what I've done.
Okay, well then any other mission you accept from him has no fighting.
That's insane.
It's a lot of just going back and forth, and it's very unexciting. The story cutscenes that happen are kind of interesting. Like there's some fun little moments. There's a little spicy moment in there as well. For all you people, but
disgusting. When does it happen?
It was because I decided today because I've done I've done some side quests and I've explored a decent chunk up until today. But then this morning I was like, all right, let me like knock a bunch of main quests out today. Right. Like I was sitting at like only 4 main quests done up until today. I've done like a whole bunch of main quests today. And all the missions I did today were kind of boring. Like, cause it was just walk up to the castle, sneak into the castle, go in this room, pick up a note, and go right back to Captain Brant so you can talk. So he can give you another objective to go right back to the castle, to go into another room to pick up a note, and then go back to Captain Brant, and then go to this other house to get these clothes, so you can enter a masquerade to go into a room, pick up a note, and go back to Captain. It was a lot of that.
I'm doing the masquerade right now.
That one's the best one. That one's the best one.
I just went and did the Nameless Village thing with like the thieves.
Oh, see, I didn't do that one. I haven't done that one.
You should do that.
That one is not. That one's not a main quest, which is interesting.
No, it is just a like side thing, but it introduces you to the Meisters, like the vocation.
So
Meisters,
far,
the ones.
So far, I feel like this is gonna be one of those games where the side quest carries.
Honestly, facts. I get it. I definitely feel that way because I honestly don't really have a want to go back to Captain Brant whenever I can just go out and then just body monsters left and right with my giant sword and then continue going. Like it's just not
Yeah, because
I
I'll
don't
be
know.
honest. I was loving the game. I was probably at like a 9.5 before today. I'm not gonna lie. Just because I just found the all the stuff I did today was just so boring. But unfortunately, it's the main quest. There's no way really around it unless you don't want to do the main story at all. Which I don't blame you, because the rest of the game is so freaking fantastic. Because now let me
Yeah.
start talking about my positives. Because outside of the frame rate and the story, I really have almost no positives. I think
No positives.
sorry, no negatives. My bad. Oh my, yeah, I have no positives about this game, bro. This game is just straight
This game
booty cheeks.
sucks.
Anyway, I almost have no negatives outside of those things. There is only one other negative, and that has to do with the next thing I'm going to talk about: the gameplay and combat itself. Oh my god, I love it. Dude, it is like it is so fun. Like everything you do feels meaty, like it feels like it packs a punch. I am playing the fighter
yeah.
vocation by the way.
See, I'm playing warrior, and yeah, no, I definitely understand that it feels like it packs a punch.
Dude,
Because like
yeah.
with the warrior, you stab into some like smaller enemies, and you literally fling them with your sword.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
you
yeah.
pick them up and you throw them at other. Like it is. I cannot wait to level up this vocation more because I'm only like 4 levels into this vocation, and it
wow.
genuinely feels like I could get stronger.
Yeah.
Like it, oh my gosh, dude, it seems so cool.
Yes.
But
I
continue.
personally my favorite part of the game for sure is the combat. Like,
Oh my gosh,
which
yeah.
is probably why I've hated playing today, because I've had none of it. Which is so sad.
Draws.
I'm telling you, I just can't believe I played like 4 or 5 hours today and I had no combat. Absolutely none. Like, how does that happen? Like, and it just has to do with the way they structured the main story quest. Like, that's so unfortunate because it was going so well. But yeah, anything to do with the combat, I just absolutely love. I love all the different abilities you get. I love the being able to block and all the attacking. It feels meaty. It feels great. All the animations are really, really cool. And I just feel like it's kind of its own unique combat. Like, obviously it takes inspiration from like a Souls game, or like a hack and slash mixed with, like, you know, just your normal action adventure game. But it feels, I don't know, it just feels unique, you know? Like, it just feels like its own thing, and I really, really love that. And then with the pawn system, you do feel like you actually do have a team. It's not like stupid AIs doing absolutely nothing. Like, you really do feel like you have a team. You really do feel like you have a team sometimes.
I know, man. There's sometimes where I'm like, dog.
Most of the time. Most of the time. But yeah, I absolutely love the combat.
It's only in the city.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, hands down, my favorite part about the game is the combat, which it doesn't surprise me because that was easily my favorite part of the first game. And just all the different creatures and enemy designs are just awesome. Like, just going out and adventuring and finding all these different enemies. Like, I can't tell you, the first time I saw a giant werewolf in this game, I was scared for my life, but also at the same time, I was like, yo, look at this. I'm like, yo.
Dog, my whole sentiment when it comes to like monsters and video games, I'm like, if it has a health bar, I can kill it. Like, it is genuinely like it's not an if, it's a when. I'm going to try until I defeat you. And that's how it is with anything I've fought so far, like the Cyclops, the Minotaur. Oh my gosh, it's just like, yeah, you're terrifying. But I see you only have 2 health bars, so.
Well, so like literally, what I was just saying, when I saw the werewolf for the first time, because I heard like roaring, and by the way, this was how the first game was as well, and this is something I have to prop this game for. They do not shy away from making nighttime legit nighttime. Holy crap,
Oh
dude,
my
terrifying,
gosh, dude.
All right, and
I
so
hate, like, it is genuinely like I like fighting in light, and the fact that I stumbled upon a Cyclops at night. Dog, I grabbed myself, man. Because it just grabbed my pawn, Johan, and threw him, and I was like, dog.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
It reminds me of Dying Light, where when it turns nighttime, you do not want to
It's
go
nighttime.
outside. Yeah, you do not want to go out. That's just how it works. But yeah, so it was nighttime, and I was walking. I hear like bushes and trees and like moving and stuff. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I hear a roar. And I turn around, and I see the werewolf, and I'm like, yo, look at that thing. I'm out of here. See you later. I was like so excited, and then I realized how terrifying and how much I was probably gonna die. And so I like dipped. But yeah, the exploration and combat and enemies in the game is easily just the best thing about the game, dude. I mean, it just is. Visually, I think it's really good. I don't think it's visually one of the best games I've ever seen, but it's a visually great game. Like, I'm not saying it's a negative. It's just like,
Yeah.
It's about what you'd expect from like an open world fantasy game. Like
It has a certain style, and I really like that style.
Yeah.
Because it's there are moments where you look at it and it's like, this feels somewhat anime-esque, but at the same time, it is so hyper realistic.
Yeah.
But not in like a Jump Force way. It's a bit more like it's gentler than that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I agree.
It's not as harsh. Because if you look at the what are they called? The Bestians? The lion people.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I mean, like their fur and stuff. I mean, that's cool looking. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly don't really want to play one. It isn't interesting, but
Yeah.
I probably will actually, but
Brodus turned so
because I remember a comment that each race I think gets a different experience in the game. So
there's only 2.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I'm not playing one right now, and you can't have more. That is another thing, actually. You cannot have more than one character, and that does bug me.
Yeah.
That does bug me because I don't want to have to completely like erase my character to start another game.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal opinion. I don't know.
Oh yeah, but back to combat. Sorry, my one other negative, I shouldn't say my one other negative. Another negative. The only thing that can make combat better is a lock-on system.
Oh my gosh, yes. I do not like the
the camera. In just general, the camera can be annoying sometimes. Not even just in combat, but like in everything. Like when you're on some stealth missions and you're trying to like peek a corner or something, the camera just like flips out randomly, and it's just like what the heck. Yeah, but the camera for sure, and then lock on for sure. Need something. But yeah, outside of that, combat is just awesome. The music is so good, dude. I don't know about you, but I love the music.
The music is pretty good.
See, somebody asked me the other day, what I don't know if I'd like Dragon's Dogma. Like, what is it? The best way to describe it for me would be Monster Hunter mixed with Elder Scrolls.
I could see it.
Yep. It's a third-person action-adventure, pretty much hack and slash with abilities and RPG mechanics in a fantasy world with cool different things and a bunch of different magic. And, yeah. To me, it's just Monster Hunter with Skyrim, pretty much.
You tell them, Cooper.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, no, I definitely could see that.
Outside of that... I mean, some other things, some of my other thoughts about the game, you said earlier, there is not much armor and weapon variety, which I do wish there was more of personally. That's just like a little nitpick and gripe I have so far. I actually don't mind the whole pawn system, like having to change out your pawns every now and then. I don't mind that. I do agree with you how some of them are OP though, like my loyal one is crazy. So I chose fighter, right? And then I got an archer pawn is the one I got. Or that's what I chose at least. And yeah, so far it's worked out pretty well. When I do a higher pawns, though, I make sure I try to get one of each one of each of
Oh
the main
yeah.
four. Um,
It just doesn't make sense that you don't do that.
right.
Like I feel like you having a balanced team is what makes the game like as playable as it is,
Yes.
because it's like if I can't hit them, my pawns can, and then once my pawns hit them, they're down on the ground, and then I can beat the crap out of them. Like it's
Yeah.
a simple system, but it works.
Yeah. How do you feel about the whole climbing enemies thing?
It's actually a lot more fun than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I
That's
do
everyone's
enjoy it.
reaction. It's like, why would I want to
I
climb
do
an
enjoy
enemy?
that.
And then they do it.
It's
And,
pretty freaking cool when you
it's
climb an
like,
enemy.
oh, yo, this is actually pretty flit.
Yo, well, like, with Warrior, there's an attack where I think you jump up, like you climb on the enemy, and then I think it's a heavy, or you do one of your abilities, but you jump up off the enemy and then bring like your sword all the way down, like, um, almost like, yeah, you hop up and then use the height to your advantage to bring the sword all the way down and land on the ground. That's so cool. And then there's a move that's like the ladder. It's a you pretty much throw, or like you pretty much helping a pawn get up on the monster and climb and fight it too. That's pretty fun. I've yet to meet Talos, the thing that we saw in the trailer.
Yep.
But once I do, I'm gonna fell that Titan. Man's going down.
Well, that's my thing,
but
man. With the main quest, with how many enemies and how good the combat is, you'd think there'd be like some cooler main quests where you like,
they capitalize on it. Like,
yeah, right. But no, you're just
But at the
sneaking
same
into a
time-
castle back and forth.
You said there were like 18 main missions.
Yeah, like around there, yeah. And I'm like
I
halfway
don't know,
through.
that feels short.
I mean, here I'll tell you the exact number right now. Hold on. Well, that's what I'm saying is, I think the more I look at it, I think I'm realizing this is not a game for its
20.
main quest.
There are 20 main quests.
20. Okay, so I was close, but
Yeah, it's like a 30 to 35-hour game.
yeah, I'm unless I've really just hit the worst part of the main story,
Mm-hmm.
and like every mission from now on is gonna be like great. I don't know. I don't see how it's gonna be 20 to 35 hours, low key, because I'm already
You said you're
halfway
almost
done.
halfway through it. Well, I don't know. I wonder is that all different mission? I guess it would all be different missions. You're just getting them all from Brant. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That definitely might weigh heavily on my my review not my review, but the review we have once it comes out. Like once we finish it, I guess finish the game.
Yeah. So okay. So you said 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, you have 20?
That's what it says. Dragon's Dogma Wiki.
Okay, I only see 18 on this website, but
I'm looking at the actual wiki.
oh, okay.
Main quests are quests in Dragon Dogma 2. Yeah.
Does it say
Dragon's Dogma 2
oh,
features 20 main quests
does it
that
say the
focus
names?
on the plot. Yes, there are three three main parts. Gallowed Awakening, Tales Beginning, and Dragon's Wake. See the Sovereign, Monster Culling, The Cage Magistrate, The Stolen Throne, Deus's Plot, An Unsettling Encounter, and Feast of Deception. Are the first part.
Okay, hang on.
It says there are 3 parts. It looks from the titles alone, it looks like it gets better.
Oh, okay, I see here.
Because there's one that just says the Guardian Gigantus, and I don't know. That sounds like a giant guardian that we have to kill.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so the website I was
seemed like Go ahead.
Interesting. So the website I was on, it had Legacy as the last one.
Oh no. Story Quest Part 3, James
Yeah,
Apprentice,
so there's
Valley Pursuit, Halt for the First
okay.
Dawn, and When
I
Will
am
Storm.
on Feast of Deception right now. Like that is the one.
Oh, so you're almost done with Part 1.
Which that makes sense because it does one of those point of no return like prompts.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. But no, from monster calling to there, it is no combat. Like it's just like boring quest. Yeah,
That's so disappointing.
yeah. It's really sad. But yeah, even then, even with all the that huge net negative that I've put it out there, I'm still at like an 8.5, and I can easily see it going up. But the problem is, I could also see it going down based off what I just played. Like if those main quests do not start picking up, yikes. But I think they will.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I think that's about all we're gonna talk about Dragon's Dogma 2 for today. Until we play more, of course. It's a huge game. There's still so much to do. But I've absolutely been loving my time with it for the most part so far. Yeah, just can't wait to play more. All right, third and final game. Rise of the Ronin. So okay. I'll be honest. I have a feeling we're going to have different opinions on this game. I have a feeling.
Maybe.
I have a feeling. So I'm going to let you go ahead and speak because I honestly, outside of like an hour ago, I didn't know you can continue to play. So I'm really curious.
My first couple hours were they were hours. So my game did crash a total of 6 times in the first.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So it happened. 3 of those times happened in the character customization screen. Like I genuinely had to save my character because I knew at some point it would crash, and it did. It ended up crashing 3 times while I was making my Veiled Edge.
Wow.
Obviously, for anybody who doesn't know, anybody who hasn't lived under a rock, and not listened to our previous podcast, which you should, Rise of the Ronin is a I don't know, is it a Souls-like? Would you say it's a Souls-like?
It is.
A Souls-like game made by the same developers it's Team Ninja, made by the same people who made another honestly really good Souls-like game, Wolong,
Wolong,
Fallen
Neo,
Order.
and
Fallen Dynasty.
Yeah. Wolong.
No, Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
What?
I said Fallen Order earlier, and I was like, no, it's Fallen Dynasty.
Oh yeah, no, Fallen Dynasty. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. And then they made the Neo games. They also made something else. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, they made the Ninja Gaiden games way back when. But
oh, baller.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they tried their crack at a PS5 exclusive. It is it's set in Japan during the 1860s, which, if you know anything about world history, that's when a lot of the innovation in firearms became a thing. I know this because of college, which is so cool. Yeah, no. The Civil War is like whenever they started, like the American Civil War is whenever they like did straight up like dang near reinvent the pistol and made the revolver. Like they went from using the lead balls to actually using these thing called mini balls, which were like the most common, like what you think of a bullet now. It's that shape. Pretty cool. So I like that the firearms are a thing that are in this game.
We just got our whole history lesson during our podcast. That's crazy. Welcome to learn your way.
Get it?
Learn your way with your host Christian.
I do. I don't know, man. I like bits of history. But yeah, no. My game did crash. Just go and get back on topic. My game did crash 6 times. And in all honesty, it really did sour my mood for this game originally, because I have never had a game crash on me like that, ever. Ever in my unless it was for me putting too many mods on it, and that's on my PC. I have never had a game crash so consistently in the first couple hours of playing. And so I did, obviously I texted John and I was like, hey, I'm gonna set this down because I needed to update. Because I was playing on the 1.0, the version that literally launched day. They already released another patch. I think they already released their open their launch day patch, and that did fix my game. I was able to get through the through the Matthew Perry fight very well, but which is insane because Matthew Perry is the name of an actor, and so anytime I read that, I was like, Chandler Bing, what? Um,
I
but
didn't even realize
because
that. I didn't even realize that.
yeah, Matthew Perry, yeah. Um, but I don't know. I like the game a lot more now. I do. I'll be honest. I don't know if I've not put as many hours into Dragon's Dogma because I'm still kind of like still trying to like get my hopes up for this game again. But oh man. uh it's a bit rough at moments. It is. Um but in all honesty, I think they kind of improved on their gameplay from Wolong. I will be the first one to say it. I do think there's a lot more like if you it I think it's something we talked about whenever in our last podcast. It mechanically is wonderful. Um I I'm not even like I'm not even a good chunk into the game yet. I genuinely have like got past the first two boss fights, and I'm still now in that little area that you come. I don't really want to say anything, uh, in lieu of spoilers, but the
You're in the
combat
first city.
in the first little town, yeah,
Have you
not
reached the
city,
longhouse yet?
no,
Dang, so you haven't even unlocked co-op yet.
nope,
Ooh, okay.
no. I've been exploring.
Okay.
Um, trying to get a feel for the game, to be honest with you, because that is also something in the I feel like it's not really touched upon in the tutorial. Is there's actually a lot more in like when it comes to the combat system than is like let on, because you have obviously you have your counter sparks, which are effectively your parries.
Indeed, yeah.
Um, yeah, your parries and punishers.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what it is you parry and then you're able to punish like right after. That's something that was in Wolong as well, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken.
Well, kind of.
Um,
Kind of. You had to do it wasn't a parry, but it was a deflect in Wolong.
yeah, it was deflect,
And
but it
then
was
and then if
same
you did
same
that, then
principle.
yeah, then like something cool happened. Like you could either punish them or
Mhm.
do like an ability or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, but uh, the combat is good. I like the combat. The I'm still trying to get used to the level up system because that's really weird. Like just the stats in general.
Mm,
There's only like four main stats, and
yeah.
that's really odd to me. But other than that, I I like the game. You know, like I'm definitely sitting at a solid like actually not even a solid. It's a very shaky like 6.5 to 7 at this moment. Um and that's like if that's iffy. And that's a very I don't know. I I another problem that I have with the game is that the honestly the voice acting isn't like up to snuff in my opinion. I don't know if you've experienced that,
Mm.
but like the voice acting isn't like that extensive. Like it does not feel good in some places. Um, especially with the character the bladesmith. Her voice was very off, along with some of the people in the first little village you find. That is not. They're. I don't know if it's just the English thing, like the English language, the English actors of it or not. But I don't know. It just does not feel polished. Like it did not. It does not feel like a released. I guess I don't know. My expectations were really high because of Wolong, and I just don't know if they really met those expectations yet. Albeit I have not finished the game. I'm not even halfway. I'm not even a fourth of the way through yet. But
No, you're not
they
even. You're not even a eighth. I'd say if you haven't even reached the first city, that's
no.
crazy.
Yeah, I just like I said, man, my beginning experience with this game was horrendous.
Yeah.
Like it was hard. And I am not one to be dissuaded like that, but 6 times
Yeah.
it's hard to continue playing a game when it crashes on you 6 times in the matter of like 2 hours.
Yeah. That sucks.
Um
That's like that's really bad.
yeah, like I said, 3 of those times were in the character custom creation, and then the other times were
The
in the
boat.
Matthew Perry fight.
Yep.
Yeah, on the boat. That's where my game crashed, and it was
Jeez.
I I don't know, man. I really don't know what plagued me that night, but it was I was so mad. I was I was furious because honestly, I was more excited for this game than I was Dragon Dogma 2. I had so much hope for this game. I still have some of that hope for this game, but I'm already like, whoa. I might want to wait a minute for them to update it because it is, oh, it was hard to get through. Um, it feels very Ghost of, I will admit it feels very much Ghost of Tsushima inspired.
Yeah.
The opening screen.
Oh my
I even
God.
sent you
Yes.
a picture.
Yeah.
The opening screen is almost a 1-for-1 of the Ghost of Tsushima
Yep.
uh, title screen with the katana sticking up out of the ground. Which obviously I think that's a little homage from Team Ninja being like, "Hey, we're also on the PlayStation. Look at us." I don't think they're trying to copy it because
No, I don't think so.
I will admit the story itself already is engaging. I actually like the story. The Veiled Edge thing that seems pretty cool. Um, I I'm assuming light spoilers for the first 15 minutes of the game. But you get you have a you create two characters. You create two veiled edges and you choose which character you want to play as.
Yeah.
Um, and that is what?
Nothing. Nothing. I'll talk when I get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and so like that's cool. I really like that the ally thing. That was a fun gimmick. I really do like that. That's a I it's kind of taken away from you after the first boss fight. I'm assuming we get it back based on like the opening cinematic. But but yeah, no, it seems very fun. Um Along with that, what else? What else? What else? Um Obviously it your character doesn't really have much of like a personality. My character doesn't have much of a personality at this moment. It's just kind of like I kill. I do not know who I am. I don't know where I'm from, but I know I must kill. Um, but I mean the story's engaging. I'm very interested to see what this blue demon guy is because he is very anime, and that was kind of cool because that kind of broke what I thought this game would be, which is like a somewhat historically accurate like rendition, not historically accurate, but like very like not straying far from history. But then like the dude speed blitzed her, and I'm like, well, huh. So he's the main character. Uh, it was pretty cool though. I don't know. I have such mixed feelings on this game, and I really do need to play it more before I can give a just account of what I like. But so far, it has potential. Genuinely do think I had a bad experience that not many people have had in that first bit, but I'm hoping this with patches and maybe some consistent updates that it'll kind of iron out everything that I had a problem with. So yeah, no, but I'm very excited to be able to play it with like John and a couple of my other friends. I really want to play it with them, and can't wait to see how that goes. Um, I will admit, I do now see why multiplayer is a thing in this game. It makes a lot more sense now because of the veiled edge, because of the main characters. They're there there's room for that now. Like I know I think last episode I had mentioned the the fact that I don't feel like multiplayer was completely necessary. Now I do feel like it's not necessary, but it ties in fairly well. So I'll leave it at that. I obviously don't have much of a opinion anywhere else, but what do you think of Rise of Ronin so far, Jonathan?
Alrighty. So, I was right. We do have different opinions, sort of, when it comes to this game. First of all, let me go ahead and say real quick. Ain't no game should be crashing 6 times. Get your thing together, people. Like,
Dog,
I don't even care.
idea.
I don't even care if it was Ghost of
oh my
Tsushima
God.
2, bro. I don't even care if it was Ghost of Tsushima 2. If your game crashes on you 6 times, nah. Nah, bro. that just ain't it.
Yeah.
But luckily mine did not. Mine only crashed once, actually. I did crash once, I'm not gonna lie. It was just at a random point in time, like on the boat. It wasn't like during the boss fight or anything. It was just at a random point in time. But that's the only time it happened. It was the only time it happened. Yeah, it's a real shame that the game hasn't quite lived up to your expectation, and that unfortunately happened to you. Because I'll be honest with you, I have nothing but, well, I do got some criticism, but I am absolutely loving the game so far. I have not progressed any further since that first day, though, because I have been waiting at the part where I unlock co-op, because I wasn't sure how long it would take for them to patch it. And so I low-key didn't even know that you've been playing it, so I've just been waiting, because I'm like, I don't want to get like super far ahead or anything. And so
Something that I have known, I have been told though, and I don't know if it's incredibly true. You can only go through and play missions that you've played, like in multiplayer.
that is definitely not true.
Is that not true?
It's
Because
definitely
I've
not
heard that,
true.
but I did not know if that was true or not. I've heard of it.
I don't think that's true. I don't think
All right.
so.
I
could be
I
wrong,
was just curious.
But
I don't know.
because like at the first longhouse, which longhouses are basically your like HQs and like rest points, like base of operations throughout the map. At the first longhouse, you have an option to invite friends to join your world. So I don't think that.
I get that.
true.
I get that. Yeah.
But yeah, I have absolutely loved the first probably like 3-4 hours of the game. I'm really into it. Now I do agree with a lot of your critiques about just the overall craftsmanship of the game, like the voice acting. I do agree is not great per se.
Honestly, a little worse than Wulong.
Yeah, yeah, I
Long.
agree. I don't honestly. I don't even remember the voice acting from Wo Long all that much. So I can't really say much. I don't really remember. Um, although I will say, Team Ninja is a lower budget studio, so
Hmm.
I will say I'm not like overly surprised about this. But at the same time, you are a PS exclusive, and this game is a AAA game, so you kind of set yourself up for that critique if that is the case. Um, what was some of the other complaints you had about? There was one other thing you said where I was like, yeah, I do agree. Man, what was it? I don't really remember. I don't remember. Um, I do have one other critique though, off the top of my head, and that is that I do feel like they're kind of doing a Ubisoft with this game, and I feel like the map and the open world is kind of bloated with a lot of just like standard objectives, like clear out this area, raise the flag on this tower, freaking find this hidden thing, and all of it just unlocks loot, which that is another critique. The loot, it is a looter game, kind of, in a way, because anything you do, you earn loot and you earn better gear and everything, but they give you an abundant amount of loot. Like, they give you so much loot. I've only played like 4 hours, and my inventory is stacked with weapons. Like, I have so many weapons. It makes getting weapons kind of just like not all that exciting. But outside of that, I do really love the game. I completely agree with you. I think the story is actually a really big, strong part of the game so far. I thought the whole opening was really well done with the kind of, spoiler warning, with the whole two veiled edges, and you had to choose one, and then basically that one is now doing everything to avenge that one. You even turn on your master, which was crazy. That was really good.
Well, your character believes that your other Veil is still alive, and
Right,
so they're like, "I'm gonna go find him."
right. And so yeah, I thought that was really good. I thought the whole death for the master was really well done, actually. Um,
Yeah.
I actually I actually felt a little something because like whenever her whole objective was to stop you because she was living by her like code of honor with her clan or whatnot, because that's what she's supposed to do as the map master. But after you win, you see that she was really only doing that because she had to, not because she wanted to, and she was like she was trying to motivate you to actually accomplish what you were trying to do. She's like, go do what I failed to do.
I wish there was a bit more context there. Like,
Yeah,
I really do wish there was. I wish there was like we got to experience, we like got to train or do something a bit more with the Rise of the Ronin, like the Rise of
yeah.
the
I
Ronin,
do
with
feel like it
the
all
Veiled Edge
happened
and all
really
that.
quickly. I do feel like it was kind of rushed a little bit. But I do get that was the opening of the game, so they kind of, how long are you gonna make the opening type thing. But yeah, but I really do love where the story's going so far. What do you think of the visuals of the game? Because you didn't touch on that. Me personally, I have no issue with it. It looks like Wolong. It looks like Team Ninja graphics to me. I really don't have an issue
I
with it.
I'm not expecting anything grand. That's
Yeah,
my I guess that's my biggest point when it comes to this game is I wasn't expecting like the most beautiful game out there. It's pretty. Like
yeah,
it's pretty to look at. But it is nowhere near like it's nowhere near some of the games that are coming out now. And I'm okay with that
yeah.
because as long as the game is mechanically sound when it comes to like combat and stuff, I mean, I'm not gonna complain about that because it does what it does good. Like the combat, it does it good. I don't need the graphics to be top tier because of the combat and like the all of that. I don't really need the graphics to be like up there because I still play Bloodborne and Bloodborne has like has not terrible but like not good graphics. to today's standards, and I still think it's like a great game.
Yeah.
Graphics don't make a game, but it's nice if you try to prioritize them at some moments.
Oh
Like
yeah.
with the Captain America the 19 no, with the Captain America Black Panther game. Obviously, those graphics are insane.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so no, I mean the graphics are good.
Yep. But easily for me, I mean, and going into this, I knew it would be the case. The combat is just the gameplay. I'm not even gonna say combat. Just the gameplay in general is just some of the best I've played. Oh, I just love it so much. Like, and here's my thing, right? I love Souls games. I'm not like Christian, like every day play Souls games, but like I love Souls games. I mean, I've beaten Sekiro. That's all I have to say. And like you understand. I beat Sekiro. That's my favorite Souls game, by the way. Wo Long was one of my favorite games last year. It's one of my favorite Souls games. Love Demon Souls. But my problem with Souls games is it's not like I want to dive into those on a frequent basis, right? Like it has to be once or twice a year because of the commitment that those games require. And it's not like I don't want to commit. I do, but not on a frequent, like every month basis. It's not something I could just sit down, turn on, and start playing. I have to like be in that mood to do it. It's a very mood genre for me, right? And the thing I love about Team Ninja games is they're easier, but still they still put on challenge. It's more action, like it's more fast-paced action rather than
They're difficult, but not in any unforgiving way.
right, exactly. And the same thing why I like the Returnal. It's very challenging, but it's not like you are, it's like the hardest thing in the world. What makes Returnal so hard is just the fact that there are no checkpoints. Like that's what makes, like, you can clear out a room of enemies easily in Returnal, but can you do that for 8 hours long without any checkpoints?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about Rise of Ronin. While there are checkpoints, it's like, okay, I can beat all these enemies, but when I get to this boss, it's gonna take me a few tries. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be one of those things. And so that's why I love Team Ninja games. And for me, I just absolutely love the gameplay in this game. I think the whole Counter-Spark thing is really, really good. I love how many different.
I'm kind of mad that it's bound to triangle though, because I kind of want to
Oh
like
no, I
carry
switched all
like
my stuff.
any other.
I
Can you do that? Because I think I'm gonna.
You
do
can
that.
remap your whole controller. I spent like
'cause
a good hour doing that.
I'm gonna move because I gotta move Counter Spark to my parry button because like it's not working at
Yeah.
a triangle.
Yeah. So I love that. I love all the different weapons they have. I love the different. They even have like Ghost of Tsushima stances. They have like stances in the game, where you can like use different stances with different weapons, and it brings in a whole new move set, which I think is really cool. There's like wings and grappling hook in the game, which you haven't gotten to yet, which is awesome.
I've gotten to the grappling hook, but not the wings.
That's true. And there is so many abilities. There's dodge. Like I really just love it. Gameplay is for sure my favorite part of the game. It really does suck that you had such a rough start to the game because
Okay, I was hyping it up too.
I know.
That's the
That
big, like,
really.
I was so excited.
Dang, that really shows you. See, I've always said for a long time, out of the 3 segments in a game, the opening, like middle and ending of a game, the most important to me is the opening.
It's the beginning.
Yeah, because it's either gonna get you hooked or it's not. And so if an opening fails, I definitely understand. Like, I don't really want to play a game if I'm not enjoying the opening. So that really sucks. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm at like a 9.5 right now. Like I'm really high on it right now. Now,
Is this Ghost of Tsushima's spiritual successor?
no, it's
No.
not near Ghost of Tsushima, but it is like I'll be honest. Out of all the games I've played this week, Rise of Ronin has been the one I've been itching to play more of the most.
Well, go ahead. I'm playing it now, so go ahead.
Well, yeah, that's good to know now. Well, no, you're still behind me, I think, because you haven't even reached the first longhouse. You haven't even unlocked co-op.
No.
You haven't even unlocked co-op.
Nope.
So
No.
but yeah, I do really want to play more of this game. I just haven't, unfortunately. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Yeah. Now, granted, my opinion can change. I'm only like I said, I just unlocked co-op, so that can tell you how early in the game I am. So things can change for sure. But I'm absolutely loving it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for our takes on all those games. So little recap right now, as of a week with these games, I am sitting
Not even.
Oh my god, not even a week with these games. Princess Peach, I'm sitting at an 8 out of 10. Dragon's Dogma 2 sitting at an 8.5, and Rise of Ronin sitting at a 9.5. Yeah, I'm the king of just having different opinions as everyone else. I'll be honest with you, because even online and it's social media, honestly, no one's talking about Rise of Ronin or Princess Peach because everybody's talking about Dragon's Dogma.
Is insane because I'll be honest. Don't get me wrong. My rating is low, but I feel like the game should be getting more attention. Like I do because it is. I understand it was eclipsed by Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah,
but like this isn't like us. This isn't like a Sonic and God of War scenario where it's like Sonic and then God of War Ragnarok. It's like you have two games. One is a sequel, but the other one is a honestly potentially heavy hitter when it comes to like games in general right now. Because I mean, albeit from your ratings, this weekend was probably one of the biggest weekends this year will have.
Oh yeah, I've loved every minute. Well, except for today with Dragon's Dogma. I can't say I loved every minute of that, but it's just the fact that they released on the same day is one of the big issues. But unfortunately, what is really making this happen, and unfortunately, this the whole reason we have this podcast is because we want people to play your way, make your own opinions, and do everything. That's not how the bigger public sees things. Princess Peach and Rise of Ronin are both in the 70s on Metacritic, and Dragon's Dogma 2 got an 87. So everybody instantly puts the other two aside, and all they care about is the high-scoring one, because unfortunately, Metacritic scores and critic reviews is really all anybody cares about. Not to mention, Dragon's Dogma 2 is very hype. I'm not trying to down Dragon's Dogma 2 at all, but like,
sucks.
But yeah, unfortunately, nothing's really gone in the favor of Princess Peach or Rise of the Ronin.
I will admit, I have been getting ads on TikTok for Rise of Ronin, so good for them on that.
Yeah, good.
A little too late though, because the game's out and you did not barely market it at all.
Yeah, not really.
Like that is really like my biggest problem is like that the game was not marketed like nearly enough that as I think it should have been. Like what were you expecting people to do?
I must say it was only at State of Plays, like if it was
we never got any trailers, we never got any story trailers or anything like that. It was just like here's Rise of the Ronin, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
I really hope. I think that. Look, I'm gonna go ahead. Now, this is just me theorizing. There's no inside information I have or anything. But I think because Wo Long came out as an Xbox exclusive. I don't know if it's even come over to PlayStation yet. It might not have yet. I don't know.
Team Ninja being like, I'm gonna get money from both sides.
Well, I wonder if PlayStation saw that and was like, wait a minute.
We want one.
Yeah, we want one, and basically made this a PlayStation exclusive because it doesn't feel like, I don't know, it kind of does feel like last minute type thing. like in a
Mhm.
way, because like you just said, there really was no advertising except for State of Plays, and now that it's come out, really haven't seen PlayStation promoting that at all, really. Um, so I don't know, but I will say I do hope the game can somehow get you back on the hype train. I mean, if it doesn't, unfortunately, everyone has their own opinions and experiences when it comes to games. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for the 3 games that came out this week. This podcast has run a little long, so I don't know if we want to touch on the Marvel game. I guess we can touch on it real
We can
quick.
talk about it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically today they announced a brand new 6v6 team-based character-driven game, right? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Called Marvel Rivals, right? Is that what it's called? Marvel Rivals?
It's rivaling Overwatch and Paladins.
Yeah, and
Well,
I'd
it's
even
not
say
hard to
like
do
I'd even
Overwatch.
say like Valorant and stuff and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it's just one of those games. It looks like it's going to be a competitive character-based game.
Probably
Team-based
live
character
service.
game. Most definitely live. They've already announced they have a robust roadmap is what they said.
If there's a battle pass, I'm rioting.
Oh, there for sure is. I mean, there's just no doubt. Yeah, so it's a third person, which is interesting. And it's full of Marvel characters such as Doctor Strange, Punisher, Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man. I mean, there was even like some ones that you would never expect to be in a game in there. Like, what was the one you said earlier?
What?
You said there was some character earlier that you never expected.
Magic.
Yes,
Magic. Oh
yes,
my
that
gosh,
one.
Magic is insane because she's Colossus's sister. I think if I'm not mistaken, she is.
Oh, that's oh yeah, I know.
And she
Yeah,
has this cool sword, and she has to deal with portals. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
I don't know. When this game comes out, I wonder if she might be my main because I really have to see more of her. But yeah, no, I can definitely see this being a game that I pick up. Like genuinely.
And that's the thing. For how much we hate on live service games, guys, it's not that we don't.
I hate
It's
all live
not
service
that
games a lot.
we hate all live service games. It's just not common. But when I saw this trailer, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to play it. I thought it looked really good. I thought it looked really cool. There's like, I don't know, it just hit me in all the right ways, which is weird. Like I think for me, like I first saw it, I'm like, oh, I really I like the art style. Okay, it's third person, interesting. I'm like, I could see how could be fun, Marvel characters. But then I saw there was like a scene in the trailer where like Doctor Strange opened like one of his portals, and then like the entire team jumped through that portal and like dropped in on like the enemy team. I'm like, yo, that's actually pretty cool, bro. I was like, yo, I actually really want to do that. That's super awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I think this game does have
That's gnarly.
potential if they just do it right, which that's just the case with any live service game if they do it right. It needs to be fun, which it looks fun. We'll see. But it needs to not be bloated with microtransaction. It needs to have consistent updates, and it needs to have good reason to keep playing. Like, it needs to have good progression. It needs to have solo content. Not like solo content as in like single player story, but like you shouldn't have to rely on stupid matchmaking for literally everything. Like there should be some sort of like solo challenges that you can complete. Like there just needs to be reason to play it. Is my big thing, right? But yeah, I mean, what do you think of it?
I'm fairly excited to see where this goes. Because in all honesty, we never gotten anything like this before from Marvel. Like this is a new thing for us. Like it's never been like oh, here's another one. It's like I mean, the only Marvel games outside of, the ones that everybody thinks of are like card games
Marvel
and Ultimate
Snap.
Alliance. Yeah. Like those are the games that like whenever they're like, "Oh, it's a Marvel game." So something like this is I'm very hopeful because I wonder if they genuinely do make a competitive shooter slash, or I guess yeah, competitive shooter, something like that, that I actually like. Again, I mean, Marvel has done something that many game companies have not been able to do for a very long time.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll be very excited. I think I mentioned this before the podcast, but I need to see it. I need to see it more polished. I need to see just a bit more uh fleshed out. I think the only gripe I have with like any of the characters is the Hulk. Uh, he has a gamma gun when he's not the Hulk, and it feels very weird
Oh, when he's
because
not
I
the Hulk?
feel
Oh.
like when he's not the Hulk. So I think, in all honesty, what I would do, just coming from side, I would make Bruce Banner a support character, and then once he transforms into the Hulk, he's a tank character. Like it's that almost that switching of like Mercy, where it's like, oh, I can be offensive or I can be support, but one of those, something like that.
See,
But
even
that's
you
my only
just talking
gripe.
about this is like really cool. Like, I don't know. I think this whole idea is really sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Like, putting together a different team. Like, imagine, like, even you and your friends just communicating, like, yo, who are you rolling in with? I'm Iron Man, bro. Y'all be Black Panther. Yo, let's get it. And then like dropping in with your team, you got like Hulk by your side. And I'm like, yo, this sounds pretty cool. Like, I actually want to run this.
Cool.
Like, yeah.
Did we get a possible like release?
The alpha,
area
the closed
window?
alpha is May.
Wow, that's soon.
Yeah. And now here's the one
That's
downside,
kinda
which is not really a downside if you have it. It's only going to be available on PC at the moment.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. So this might be the very first game I play on this gaming PC that I bought.
There's no way that that's gonna be the first game that you've ever played on your Alienware PC.
Maybe.
Yeah, just for clarification for those at home.
No clarification.
He has a bougie gaming PC. I mean, he has Alienware. It's this sleek white case. It has hardware that looks like it came out of a UFO. I mean, he put it together with an electric screwdriver. It's insane.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, it's bougie.
Yeah.
And this man
it's a
does
very
not
high-end PC.
play PC games.
No.
At all. I think I don't even know the last time you played a PC game other than maybe Pixelmon.
Yo, I thought about it today. I thought about buying Planet Zoo. I'm sorry. I know that's completely. That laugh
That's
you
it
did.
for the podcast,
said
guys.
It all. I was like, no, okay, look. So, because I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw a post because y'all know Planet Coaster is one of my favorite games of all time. And I saw a post about Planet Zoo console edition out now, and I'm like, man, that's a game I never got around to playing. And I was like, yo, should I play it on console? And now it's on console, and I was like, but wait, I have a PC. I could just get it on PC. But I was like, maybe that's the first game I finally play on PC. And it was like all in my head, like in the moment. Granted, probably thankfully, I did not go that route. I turned on Dragon's Dogma 2 instead. But yeah, it was actually a thought.
I would have bullied you. I would have bullied you relentlessly.
Bro, I really did think about buying Planet Zoo. I still kind of am thinking about it. Just, yeah, I don't know.
Just play on a console, dude. Don't play on your PC.
Why?
At this point.
Oh.
Because why would that be the first game you play on your PC? Play something
that's okay.
intense.
I mean, I really don't know. Pokemon TCG. See, I'm just not a PC gamer.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Pokemon
I don't play
TCG.
games on PC. That's just the problem. I don't know.
I get it. No, I get it. I'm honestly the same way. I do play games on my PC, but not nearly as much as I play
Like,
on my
I'm not gonna
consoles.
lie.
Like, I have.
If they're not, if they don't have controller support for the PC on Marvel Rivals, I probably won't play it.
No shot.
What? No shot I won't play it, or no shot they won't have controller support?
There's no way they. Honestly, actually, there's a very good chance that they won't have controller support.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But that'd be insane if they didn't. And it'd be even more crazy if you robbed yourself of the opportunity to learn something.
I know how to
Or
play
play a
with
video
keyboard and
game
mouse.
on the
I just
PC.
don't like it.
I don't care if
Bro,
you don't
we
like
played
it.
Pixelmon, okay, bro?
I know.
We played Bed Wars, bro. If you can play Bed
We
Wars, you
did
can
play.
play anything.
Facts. Facts. I've never heard any truer statement in my life. Anyways.
Oh. All right.
No, but I'm a general thing is I am excited for it. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Man, two Marvel games, back-to-back weeks, looking great, low-key. Well, one of them's looking potential. One of them definitely looks great. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this podcast. A little long this week, just because we had a bunch of games to talk about. Yeah. Next week we'll catch up on news things, and we'll have some kind of little fun gimmick. Probably like we might do like a little draft wars thing. I think that might be kind of cool. But yeah. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely leave a like in the comment section down below. Provide it and please subscribe. You got anything else to add, Christian?
No, I think that's it.
All right. This has been Player Way. We're out. Peace.
Peace.